April 26, 1986. In the Soviet Union, the night was calm. Inside Reactor 4 at the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant, a safety test was underway. But something was wrong. The reactor's power was falling too fast. To continue the test, operators disabled critical safety systems. The control room grew tense, yet no one stopped the experiment. As instability surged, the final emergency measure remained. The AZ5 button was pressed, a command meant to shut it all down. The worst nuclear disaster in human history had just begun. Inside the RBMK reactor core, the design flaw awakened. Pressure built violently beneath thousands of tons of concrete. At 1:23 midnight, Reactor 4 exploded. The 2,000-ton reactor lid was thrown into the night sky. Burning graphite from the reactor core scattered across the rooftop. Inside the control room, disbelief replaced certainty. Even then, some insisted the reactor was still intact. But the core lay open, exposed directly to the air. In nearby Pripyat, residents woke to an unfamiliar glow. They gathered to watch, unaware of the danger. Invisible radioactive particles drifted through the night. Radiation levels climbed thousands of times above normal. And as the reactor burned, firefighters arrived. They were told it was just a roof fire. No one warned them about radiation. They climbed directly onto the radioactive rooftop. The graphite beneath their boots was hotter than lava. They fought flames they could see. But the real enemy was invisible. Within minutes, they began to feel it. Metallic taste, burning skin. Yet they continued climbing. They had no protective suits. By dawn, the first firefighters collapsed. Their skin reddened, as if burned from within. Doctors did not yet understand what they were facing. Radiation was already destroying their cells. Outside, the reactor still burned. In Moscow, the silence was deliberate. No public announcement was made. In Pripyat, life continued as normal. The radiation was already spreading across Europe. But the world did not yet know. It took 36 hours to order an evacuation. Loudspeakers finally broke the silence. They were told it was temporary. They would never return. More than 1,000 buses arrived. 50,000 residents boarded in silence. The city was left behind. Inside Reactor 4, the core was still exposed. The Soviet military mobilized. Helicopters were sent directly over the open reactor. Pilots flew through radioactive smoke. They dropped sand, boron, and lead into the core. Many of them absorbed lethal doses. On the ground, soldiers became liquidators. They were sent to clear radioactive debris. They had seconds before retreat. Robots failed in the radiation, so men replaced machines. The cost was measured in lives. And the disaster was far from over. The reactor had to be sealed. Thousands of workers were mobilized. They worked in deadly conditions. Radiation still filled the air. But the structure slowly took shape. By November 1986, the reactor was entombed. But the damage had already spread.
Levels are spiking.
Radioactive particles traveled across Europe.
Print the logs, we need records.
Entire regions were contaminated. A vast exclusion zone was created. More than 100,000 people lost their homes. Many never fully understood what happened. The full truth emerged slowly. Chernobyl changed nuclear safety forever. It became the worst nuclear disaster in history. Nature slowly reclaimed the city. Wildlife returned to the exclusion zone. But the scars remain. Chernobyl remains a warning to the world. And the world will never forget April 26, 1986. History hides stories the world should never forget. If you enjoy discovering the truth behind events like this, subscribe to Entrusting and stay curious.